Sports Talk. That was new, actually. I like that. Yeah. Welcome to Sports Talk. It is 2013. We're back finally after about a month and a week hiatus, 5-week hiatus. Yeah. I'm still, lo and behold, your Sports Talk champions.
However, which, by the way, seeing as we've been gone for about a month and there was no monthly competition, this has got to go.
I'll take it.
No, all right. Put it down.
I'm retiring this.
Put the masking.
I am always going to be now your monthly champion because I'm retiring at
this. That's actually not true. Even after the season, we've already discussed this. You can't just always be the monthly champion. The monthly champion was only to decide. Well, actually, let's go over things.
I'm your host, Mike Yellick, alongside Dustin Pastula and Christian Hayes, our producer.
First of all, the monthly championship was supposed to be between 3 people. Well, that person is gone now.
Yeah, thank God.
So technically, that doesn't even make sense anymore. Hey, now that doesn't even make sense anymore. It's just us two. So you can't just retire and say that
you're. Christian can get involved. He's the producer. He can do whatever he wants.
But I won it once, you won it once, so now you and me are in the playoffs.
Again.
We need to decide.
And here we go.
It's 2 points per game.
You're getting all... Okay.
It's 2 points per game.
Oh, we're for sure doing
whoever wins, this is gone too. This is gone too. Because remember, the point was to combine the two championships.
Coming up, there's a new belt coming.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited. He doesn't even know what it is because I'm supposed to take care of it.
Yes, so well, whatever. So I'm still your Sports Talk champion.
It's going to be made out of all tape.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. By the way, I'm your host, Mike Yellick, alongside Dustin Pastula and Christian Hayes. And I know. Well, I'm going to say it again.
All right.
I like doing that stuff.
Well, all right, we've been gone for a while. A lot of stuff has happened. Let's just talk about the stuff that has recently happened.
Andy Reid.
Wow, that comes later. That's your part. So, listen. First things first, Ray Lewis announces his retirement at the end of the season. My question is...
Surprise.
Why? I'm surprised too. The guy's in love with football. In love with it.
How old is he?
Yeah, he should have retired a while ago, but honestly, I don't think he's done. I think he's going to be like the Brett Favre of defensive players. I really think.
Again.
I think he's going to come back. He's going to be out for like a year or two and realize that his life stinks without football, and he's going to try and come back.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, first of all, Ray Lewis is probably one of the greatest linebackers in the game. And probably one of the best leaders.
You can argue that he is the best linebacker.
Well, I'm going to argue that he's the best leader ever, as opposed to
motivation-wise and more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even think you can. Honestly, I really don't think you can even argue that.
Well, Brian Dawkins was up there.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah. Ray Lewis and a couple other people are good leaders, but Ray Lewis absolutely one of the best in the game. He's going to be missed. I don't think he's going to come back. I think he's going to stay retired.
He's just smarter than Brett Favre.
Some teams should just hire him as a motivational speaker.
I think he'll
coach.
Honestly, I think he'll end up coaching.
Yeah, why?
I really don't. I really can see him doing that.
I could see him
coaching, ESPN analyst.
I don't know if he has ESPN voice. I really don't know.
But he has the persona.
He has the. Does he?
Yeah. Look at him. I watch him every day.
I guess.
I don't watch it now, so I mean.
Get you excited about games. That's what you.
Yeah.
Well,
we gotta keep coming up. Up next.
Something like that.
Yeah, he would do a most muscular pose.
I guess in the new year, I'm like the calm one now.
The muscles.
Yeah, what happened? So, you have a list of people who got fired, you know?
All right, yes I do.
Who got fired?
Well, first of all, the biggest one of all, I think, is Andy Reid.
Okay.
Andy Reid, 14 years coaching the Eagles.
Did
the reports today that he went to the Super Bowl and he was the winningest coach in Eagles history.
Well, that's because he was there for 14 years.
No. Come on. Let's not get started on that.
Who was there longer
than anyway. Then we have, aside from Andy Reid getting fired, we also have Ken Whisenhunt of the Cardinals, which put 2 and 2 together. I think Andy Reid might be the Cardinals' next head coach. There are reports already out.
Probably. I would not.
Chan Gailey got fired, the Bills' head coach.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so.
Not a surprise.
Romeo Crennel got fired. That, for whatever reason, just hear me out. I actually looked at that as a surprise.
Why?
Well, because he only coached a year and a half last year. So, because when Todd Haley got fired from the Chiefs, then Romeo Crennel took it over, and he only had a season, and Matt Castle's his quarterback, so what can you do with Matt Castle? He stinks.
The biggest surprise for me, I think, is Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith, yeah, that's obvious.
That's a big surprise for me, because, I mean, they were doing decently in the beginning of the season. They've never been a horrible team. They've been consistently decent, and, you know, they have a Super Bowl under him, do they not? And so, like,
no, they don't have a Super Bowl win.
But they have a Super Bowl under him.
I can say something about Andy Reid, then.
And that's you did.
Well, wait. So, okay. Well, you were saying in my argument here that Andy Reid should have got fired.
Well, yes, because when did he go to the Super Bowl?
2005. When did Lovie Smith go? 2006. What's the point?
Okay.
1 year difference. I mean, come on.
I think. I guess you can say the same thing.
I can. I mean,
But I'm saying for the past couple of years, the Bears have done better than the
This is the first year they had a chance at the playoffs in 3 years.
Okay.
Well, how can you say that then?
All right. I think Lovie Smith's a better coach.
Okay.
I think he's a better coach.
All right. Well, then there
I
you
think
go.
he's a better
That's
coach.
an
I
argument.
don't like Andy Reid. I think
All
he's
right.
stupid.
All right. Good argument. Christian.
It is a good argument. After all
He's
the rants
stupid.
you've had on the past couple weeks.
Yeah, you know what though?
That's the ultimate
Do you
decision.
ever hear do you ever hear the argument or the statement? You don't realize what you have until it's gone. I know you did. Well,
yeah, I'm a human.
I feel like we're not going to realize it until this chump of a head coach comes in. And I don't want Chip Kelly because I think he stinks. His Oregon offense is not going to be good in the NFL. It's going to be a gimmick offense. He stinks. I don't want him.
What's that coach from Seattle? What's his name?
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. I think he's in my opinion, he's probably the only coach to come out of college and succeed in the NFL.
Yeah. And well, he was in the NFL before too.
Right, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean.
Also, I think that the Eagles, their only way of coming out of this on top with firing Andy Reid is John Gruden.
I would agree. I mean,
that's the only way they.
Well, that's not the only coach out there.
But I think he's the best fit for the Eagles.
He's the best fit, yeah, absolutely. But I don't think he's the only coach out there.
No.
I mean, you could look at Jay Gruden from his younger brother from the Bengals. Also on the Bengals, Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator. So there's a couple names right there, and Mike McCoy from the Denver Broncos, the offensive coordinator. So there's a couple names out there, but yeah, the sexiest one seems to be John Gruden. Everyone loves that name.
Did you say the sexiest one?
Yeah, the sexiest name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that terminology.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you didn't laugh after you said it.
No.
Okay.
All
All
right. So anyway, New Year. Remember?
New Year, new me. My gym's crowded. My gym's crowded.
Yeah, it'll be for another weeks.
another week or two, and then it'll calm down.
But what I'm saying is, Andy Reid, I think, is still gonna be until we're dead, all of us, the winningest coach in Eagles history. I don't see another coach here coming and having the success Andy Reid did. I just don't. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you for this for one main reason. One of the main reasons
it has nothing to do with the amount of years.
But it kind of does when you look at it, because I think longevity is the only way another coach could surpass Andy Reid. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but
because I don't think there's another coach that can come into the Eagles and have as many successful seasons as Andy Reid. So I feel like the only way that they would be able to surpass him in wins is to be there longer than him.
Let me just make a point for Andy Reid here, and then we'll move on. Andy Reid had 11 playoff appearances, okay, in his 14 years. Buddy Ryan, who's a dope, and Ray Rhodes, they were here 14 years together, okay? The two of them were here 14 years. One playoff game in 14 years.
That's what I'm saying.
One playoff.
That's what I'm saying.
Andy Reid had 11.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
and not only that, you also have to look at the average longevity of coaches these days. You get to about 4 or 5 years, and then you see them out. Yeah, they come and go so quickly.
I want the next Mike Smith. I don't want the guy like the chump on the Buccaneers. I don't even know his name.
He's great.
I don't want a coach like Jason Garrett. That's stiff down in Dallas.
He's great.
I don't want him either. Like I think that whole organization, Dallas, by the way, is in a lot of trouble because they have 1 year left on Tony Romo's deal, and they do not know what to do with Tony Romo because he stinks.
Get rid of him.
I'd get
rid of him.
And do what?
Draft a young quarterback. Start over, rebuild.
There's not a lot of good quarterbacks in the draft this year, by the way.
I understand
Go figure.
that.
Eagles have the 4th pick.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to say is for as far as the Cowboys go, if I were the Cowboys, I'd rebuild. I'd get rid of Romo. I'd bring up someone young.
Well, how long is Jerry Jones going to be blind to the fact that Tony Romo isn't the answer? I mean,
until he's dead.
Until Jason Garrett,
it should be soon, but it's
every year. They went 8-8 last year. They went 8-8 this year. What is going to be the point where Jerry Jones just says, all right, I had enough of Jason Garrett. I had enough of Tony Romo. This team needs to be blown up, and new players need to be on it, like the Eagles are going to have.
They have Kyle Orton. He's a decent backup. I mean, try him out.
Please move on quickly.
Anyway, so we have predictions in depth.
Get rid of
Kyle Orton.
Well, if you got rid of Romo, at least you have a decent backup.
Kyle Orton.
He's not a decent backup. He's really not.
Better than a lot of other backups.
Why do we always, not only this show, but why Why do so many shows go to the backup? It's the backup. Who cares? Why is the backup always being talked about?
Here's my
backup.
I have one sentence. Wait, I have one sentence that's going to solve this argument. A backup is a backup for a reason.
But I don't know if Tony Romo should not be a backup.
Everybody loves the backup until he plays.
Right. Yeah, like Nick Foles. Everyone was all Nick Foles up, and then all of a sudden he came in. What else do we have? There you go. Nick Foles, by the way, I don't think is the answer. Michael Vick may stay if Chip Kelly's hired. You heard it here first. Serious. I can see Michael Vick working in his Oregon offense that he's going to bring to the NFL if he's the next head coach of the Eagles. Moving on, though.
Moving on, we have our in-depth analysis. We're going to break down these games here, okay? So we have the Bengals and the Texans. Wild card game. Bengals 10-6, Texans 12-4. Who wins this game?
Bengals. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. They as far as I'm looking at all these games, Bengals, Texans, Colts, Ravens, Redskins, Seahawks,
really
Packers, Vikings. The Bengals are the biggest surprise to me to make the playoffs.
Vikings are. Viking, come on! Vikings? That team had nothing. We thought that team was going to finish last. Adrian Peterson was going on, but everyone did, and nobody had that team going anywhere this year.
I didn't have them go to the playoffs, but I didn't have them finishing last.
But and then Adrian Peterson coming off a torn ACL, they figured, okay, well he's not going to be. And he had 9 yards short of Eric Dickerson's record.
He's the reason why they're
absolutely.
there. He's the reason why they're there.
Unbelievable. The Vikings are in the playoff. Absolutely, the Vikings. You say would you just say the Bengals? Who do you say? I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings.
Biggest surprise.
Vikings.
Yeah. See, I think the Vikings.
I think. Well, let's group it up out of
Maybe
the
Seahawks.
No, they didn't really surprise me. I mean, they played good all year, in my opinion. So that didn't surprise me. It would have surprised me
into the season, though.
It would have into the season, yes, but we're already at the end of the season, so it didn't surprise me. From what I've seen this season, that's not a big surprise for me. It's because Russell Wilson performed well. Pete Carroll did a great job with the team. They were consistent throughout the whole season. Where the Vikings, they came in kind of slow. The Redskins, they were kind of up. You know what I mean? It would have surprised me if the Seahawks had a bye into the next round.
So here's why the Texans will lose.
Okay.
They've been cold lately.
Very
games
cold.
They've been
very cold.
And it really reminds me
That's
of
why they're in the
Falcons last year. The Falcons last year, this is how they were. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we're going to get to that next week. I think the Falcons lose again.
I think they do.
But
I think they lose
unbelievable.
Out. I think they lose out.
And I think, here's my pick. I think the Texans will definitely lose this game. I think the Bengals are your mortal lock of the week. I'm going to go with the Bengals on this. I don't know how their offense is clicking right now, and their defense clearly is clicking. I mean, they have the best wide receiver in the league.
When it comes
AJ
to
Green.
When it comes to picking games, your best bet is to go with the team that has a motivation behind them. They have they're on a roll. You got to go with the team that's on a roll. You know, that's
they have the momentum.
The way I look at it. That momentum.
Just like the
that's
Seahawks.
what I was looking for. The momentum. Just like the Seahawks. Just like Kaepernick with the 49ers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You got it. That's why I had an argument the other day with somebody who said who got pissed off because they didn't put Alex Smith back in. But, I mean, Kaepernick was on a roll.
Nah, I don't know about that.
You know what's interesting about these playoffs is you have 4 young quarterbacks: Wilson, RG3, and then Kaepernick.
Yeah,
I think that.
Which I don't know. I don't agree with the whole Kaepernick thing, but we'll get to that.
Anyway, okay. So
who are you going with in that game, by the way? Bengals.
I'm going with the Bengals. Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals. I didn't say that.
Bengals.
Yeah, let's throw him into the mix.
All right.
Let's throw him.
Vikings and Packers.
Vikings and Packers.
Clearly, and I know it's in Green Bay. I get that part, but I really like the Vikings in this game. I really do. Vikings.
I don't think, and my reason for the Vikings, I'm picking the Vikings as well. My reason for the Vikings is because look at the way Adrian Peterson has been playing. We just talked about it. He's on a roll. He's doing great. What you said, 9 yards.
Remember when you told me he stinks last year?
I did, but I've been wrong. You know the feeling. What I'm trying to say is the defense of the Packers has not been where it can be all season. I think Adrian Peterson runs all over the Packers. I think
Jason Mark's gonna be mad at you for that.
I have to go with the Vikings too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This game I really like, and I don't know why I like it, but it's not going to be what I think. Colts at the Ravens. It's hard because I know Ray Lewis just announced, and they're going to be motivated for Ray Lewis. Picking the Colts, I can't believe it. I just don't like how the Ravens have looked in the last 5 games. That's the reason why I'm picking the Colts in this game. I think the Colts are hot. Plus, they have their coach. I really cannot think of his name right now. Just came back last week from cancer. And I
Right,
really rally around him. I can see the Colts winning. Plus, Ravens hate the Colts.
They do.
Because the Baltimore Colts, and then they went, and then, trust me, Colts will win this game. And I cannot believe I'm saying that. I'm picking it. Basically, I just picked against all the favorites and home teams.
Yes, you did.
And I'm gonna in the next game too.
Well, to get to that in a second, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I think let's go back to. I'm gonna use an example here. The Steelers with Bill Cowher, his last season, the way they played for him, they wanted him to go out on a high note. I think the same thing happens in Baltimore. I think they do their best to get Ray Lewis as far as he can, and I think the Ravens come out on top. They're at home. Like you said, they hate the Colts. The city hates the Colts. I mean, so I really see the Ravens on top in this game. I think Luck's a great quarterback. I think he's going to do a lot of great things for the Colts, but I don't think this year is his year.
I think it's going to be a very close game, but I'm going to go with the Ravens too. Just think they're got too good of a defense.
All right, their defense is old, by the way.
Very old. Very
so we're gonna
old.
see. We're gonna retest it here.
Seahawks and Redskins.
All right. Now I know all year you've been saying RG3 stinks. You know what? You know, the verdict's still out, but maybe he doesn't stink. All right.
Okay.
He's good.
We're both wrong on things that we've said earlier.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. It's. But Russell Wilson's also very good. And
two good young quarterbacks going.
The Redskins have won 7 straight, and the Seahawks have won 7 of their last 8. So,
it's a game of 7s.
You know what? I just like the Seahawks a little bit more. I think their defense is that much better. It could go either way. And I hate picking this game because I really don't want to pick a winner because it could go either way. I like RG3 and I like Russell Wilson. Unfortunately, for the Redskins fans watching, I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Upset all weekend.
You just made fun of me for being wrong about Adrian Peterson. You just said you like RG3, which you didn't say earlier in our season. So, that's funny.
All right.
Okay? Don't, it's the pot call me.
Hey, you down with RG3? Yeah, you know me.
Anyway, I'm going, for all you Redskins fans out there, I'm going to go with the Redskins. I've always liked RG3. You know this. I like the guy. I think he's a good quarterback. I think their only downfall would be if their offensive line falls on their face. Because one thing I have seen from RG3 is if he doesn't have that protection, he doesn't perform well.
So, well, number 46 is running. Yeah. You're fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But,
Alfred Morris has that.
I'm going with the Redskins too.
You going with the Redskins?
All right.
I got to go with the Redskins. So, which is good because we can't just be picking the same teams because nobody wins. So
I forgot these counted actually.
So you got the Bengals.
Got the
you
Bengals.
Got the
Vikings.
Which I also have.
Yes.
And then the two games that we picked different are the 2 games that are probably out of these 4 are the 2 games that could go either way.
Yes.
So you got the Colts, I have the Ravens. You have the Seahawks, I have the Redskins. I think I'm going to be right about the Ravens. I think there's a high possibility I could be wrong about the Redskins.
I feel that way too, actually.
So
yeah, rookie quarterback going against the
I think
I don't know.
I think you look at us coming out even here.
Yeah.
So
do you feel that way?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, me and Christian are the same.
We are the same, but I could see that happening.
Yeah,
so there's no way that you could end up ahead of me this week, but there is a possibility of Mike coming in last after this week.
Oh, I thought you were gonna and first. Okay.
Last and first, but if you do come in last, all hope is not lost because you were last after the wild card game week last year.
And look what happened.
You won. So.
All right.
That was super annoying. Right now, I want to do something that has been going on every week that we've had this season. I want to give Mike his time to talk about the Eagles.
All right.
So, Mike, go ahead.
I only got a few minutes here, but I think it's really easy to blame the head coach when a team does bad, okay? And this is all I'm going to say about this for about 2 minutes here. You blamed Andy Reid for lack of leadership. You blamed Andy Reid for lack of playing ability.
You can't say you because you should say we because you blamed them as well.
I blamed him as well. Yeah, absolutely.
On the show,
I think it was just a natural thing the media
We've all blamed him.
Yeah, we all blamed him. But
in the heat of the moment, being angry about the losing thing, of course, everyone goes to the head coach.
But when you take a step back, you look that Andy Reid cannot be on the field playing. And when I say this, I'm talking about guys that have no heart, that have no desire to even play this in this NFL.
Chemistry on the team.
And the one guy I'm going to point my finger at and say, I don't know how you're even in the NFL at this point, is Nnamdi Asomugha. I can't stand him. I think if somebody said, oh, Nnamdi Asomugha wants to talk to you, I'd be like, what do you want, dude? Like, I don't even want to, like, to me, you're, like, just, like, below me, even. You're making a heck of a lot more, but I have more football skills on the field. You have not made one play the entire time you were here. Every time I see you, you're getting beat, you're getting a PI call against you. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of your shenanigans like, oh, well, what? Yeah, you know what? Man up. Admit that you made the mistake, as you always do, every single game. You're targeted every single game. Oh, I wonder why. Because you stink. All right? You stink. I can't stand you being on this team. I hope, for the love of God, that you are fired off this team this year because you have nothing that serves this team well.
He didn't even really do much for the Raiders.
Well, that's another story. But he was all the big name everyone wanted. Yeah, you know what? We got him. You should have gone to Dallas because you would fit in better there. They all stink. At least this team has some players that are good, like LaShawn McCoy, like Brent Selleck when he doesn't have
who was
hand
the
hands.
most underused player in the
Absolutely.
NFL.
Bryce Brown's going to be good too, the running back. There are some players on defense, but I got to be honest, most of that backfield on the defensive line's okay. That backfield is tremendously bad. Kurt Coleman and Nate Allen, I'm sorry, they seem like nice guys, but they should not be starting in the NFL. They just shouldn't. I mean, they can't play. I mean, you know, maybe if you give DRC, who I think is a decent player, I think we overvalued him as well. If you give him safeties that can cover, I mean, they couldn't cover your mother. I mean, let's just be honest. They can't cover anybody. They couldn't even cover us if we went out there. Those safeties are tremendously bad.
Deceptively fast.
But my point is, everyone, because of that, and I know what you're going to say, well, who do you think evaluates the talent? And you're right. However, you're also wrong, because Howie Roseman, who nobody wants to blame in this, our new general manager when Tom Hecker left 3 years ago,
there you go,
evaluated all this talent. And instead of how it was,
first person to say that.
Before 2 years ago, before Howie Roseman got here, it was homegrown talent. It was let's draft good players. And some of them, let's be honest, weren't good. Sean Andrews, Jerome McDougal come to mind. But you went from that approach to the approach of let's be the Yankees. Let's buy everyone. And not worry about chemistry at all. Well, how'd that work out? You're looking at with the product on the field, which is an embarrassment, all right, to this organization.
You can't put that many egos on one team.
And you want to blame Andy Reid for that? Hey, Howie, step up. Take the blame. It's you that's the problem. It wasn't Andy Reid. Andy Reid might have been a little bit of a problem, but you were the problem, my friend.
You gotta. That's a really good point because, you know, nobody ever learns. Like, you can't just go out there and buy all the best people. That's why in Madden it's called a fantasy team. Mm-hmm. Because in real life, that wouldn't work. You can't get that many people who want to be the center of attention and give them all what they want. You can't.
And another thing I heard, and this is the truth too, and then we're going to sign off, but somebody actually said about Howie Roseman that they had to force him to watch football games in college because he was just that much of a nerd. That's who's our general manager now? I think we made a serious mistake in evaluating who should be our general manager. That's all I'm going to say. But let's blame Andy Reid because that's the easy thing to do.
And you know what? I was never a fan of blaming the coach. Never a fan.
No.
I always said, you said it first, you said it the best in the beginning. I always said, ever since I was a little kid, my grandfather said it, I said, you can never blame the coach 100% for a team doing bad because it's the players that play the game, not the coaches. That's why I was never a fan of firing coaches for having losing seasons.
Absolutely not. All right, well, next week we're going to talk about more of the coaching moves that have been happening and what's going to happen, as well as our predictions for next week's game, which includes the Falcons in there as well. And it includes the the Broncos and the Patriots, which I think that's an AFC matchup right there.
There you go.
But whatever. Let's let these teams play each other. For Christian, Dustin, Mike, we'll see you next week right here on. Let's just do it.
Okay.
All right. Next week right here on Sports Talk. We're coming back next week.
No,